Greetings, 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 everyone. And thank you all for tuning in to another edition of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. I am Yah-Tay Keaton, your host of Female Barber Talk. I'm also a barber stylist. We've been doing this podcast for 40 episodes. This is the 40th episode, and it's been a journey. So tonight is gonna be about the real little funniness, I guess, and flow is kind of lesson. It's kind of laid back, y'all. See, I'm kind of uh dressed down a little bit. I usually have on my uniform, but anywho, um, tonight's episode. Let me go ahead and put up the title real quick. We're gonna show the title. So let me rewind. Y'all, it's been a long week. So I wanted to do something kind of light, but still provide some insight, some info, some nuggets that you can take. Because I know here lately we've been doing some what I would consider some serious growth work lately. With the different topics that I've done. Last week was about avoiding burnout in the early years of barbering. Today I'm going to talk about 5 lessons that keep me grounded. And when I tell y'all, I've needed it because it's been really it's been a week. That's all I'm gonna say. It's been a week. But needless to say, I am grateful, despite the challenges and the things that um, I would say I'm facing. But I do try to keep a smile on my face and keep it moving and, keep it going. I've been taking some time to just relax a little bit. I've shared with y'all before, as the oldest child. Um, it's kind of hard to put myself first, but I share with y'all in this lesson what I did. Okay, this weekend, I tell y'all what I did, which uh, goes into making time for some good stuff, which is one of the points. But tonight's topic, we're doing episode 40. If you're just tuning in or you're watching this for the first time, once again, I am Yah-Tay Keaton, the host of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. I am also a barber stylist here locally in the Columbia, South Carolina area. And tonight's episode is about the Cut Life Chronicles. 5 lessons that keep me grounded or can support you in keeping you grounded. Y'all know there's many lessons out there that you can point to. However, I'm just sharing with you all the 5 that I think are important. So, and like I say, it's usually deep. We have fun here and there, but I've really been on it with these various subjects about growth and being in the barber industry, especially those individuals who are just coming in. You're still fairly new in the industry. I've been sharing what I consider helpful pointers and tips to assist. I believe that they are timeless. So if you're watching this sometime down the line and you're catching this on the replay, it's something that I believe is universal in a sense that you can use them in life and behind the barber chair, or the salon chair. So um, we're gonna get it started. So whether you're in the shop, you in traffic, or you just taking a moment to yourself, we gonna just kick back and we gonna enjoy this and have some fun. Kind of vibe with me a little bit. All right. So tonight's episode is about 5 things that keep me grounded. The first one that I am going to discuss, first, I want to say thank y'all for joining. I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you for tuning in. You know, got to give shout out to all my individuals that tune in, Ladosha, Brandy, Week. Um, you know, if I missed you, please don't charge it to my heart, charge it to my head. Cause like I say, it's been a week. But we're gonna get through this. And the first lesson, uh, and it's a very important lesson, and that is patience, having patience. And patience does pay. I actually have a book that talks about patience pays off. And I'm gonna go over this first point, then I'm gonna step away and see if I got it, because y'all know I like to keep books. So I have a book about that talks about patience paying off. And in this case, we're talking about patient pays. Even when you're tired of waiting, patience still pays. So I want to share with you all um, something that actually happened today. So this gentleman came in to get his haircut, and we're supposed to move him right along, move the cuts right along. But as I got in a conversation with the gentleman and I was reviewing the notes in terms of his previous haircut and what he wanted, um, I always talk to my clients, whether they a repeat client. I call everybody a client, even though I know the difference between a customer and a client. And I'm gonna tell y'all about something down in these stories, in these points here, about something that happened. But anyway, um, I got to talking to him, and the gentleman works at this particular company, and he was actually preparing for interview for a security position. Well, a secure position, which is a position that would. I'll give you an example. Like for me, when I was in the military, I was a personnel man, and then when I crossed over to Intel, um, I held a TSSCI clearance, which is a secure position. So this gentleman was preparing to interview for a secure position where it would require a little more um, clearance. I'll just say clearance. So as we were talking, I just I felt like, okay, I knew it was important and that it was a next move in his career. So what I did, I said, I hope you don't mind. I know this is a big next step for you. So he was getting his haircut and his beard done. And I was like, okay, I really got to get you right for tomorrow. So I took my time, and it took me about a good 45 minutes to, do his cut. He wanted a one on the sides and back. I end up tapering him out, uh, and making his nape area really really low to it, not quite faded out, but it was faded enough because his hair was blonde, and if you know about cutting blonde hair, you know it looks like it's gone anyway, especially when you cut it low. So I end up cutting him, and he wanted finger length on top. So I end up giving him finger length. And I was like, hey, look, my fingers are pretty big. So your finger length will be like my finger length. Hey, WK, thank you for joining. Greatly appreciated. Tonight I'm taking a little we doing a little different. Not, I won't say different, but we're kind of just kicking back a little bit tonight. It's been a rough week. I still want to bring some information, so I'm sharing some lessons that keep me grounded, and we're gonna make it light. And I ain't gonna be before y'all too long, because in all honesty, y'all, the sister girl is really tired. I'm serious. I am tired, but I'm committed, and we're gonna get this done. I got my notes and stuff here to make sure that I give y'all some meat and potatoes for tonight, and then um, we all gonna disperse. So I'm gonna let you go. So Okay, so I was talking about this gentleman and him uh, interviewing, preparing for an interview, and I took about 45 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes to take care of him. So, like I say, he was getting ready for an interview, and I just wanted to, because I know the importance of it, and I know as a barber, we um, have the high moments, graduations, parties, ceremonies, you know, um, even the flip side, if there's a death or something that's not such a happy moment, a celebration of life, or an anniversary of a celebration of life, or something along those lines. um, we're we're usually part of that process to groom people and to help them look their best. So with this one, I got him all groomed up. I got him, together, blended his sideburns and his beard, and did all of those things. So I spin him around, let him look at it, and he was just amazed. And I said, you know what? I feel like you're gonna go in and you're gonna get this job. It's good to hire from within. You already know the system. So in other words, I was pumping him up in a genuine way, but I was letting him know all the reasons why he's the best candidate for the job. So as I was checking him out, he just thanked me for taking the time to help him prepare for his interview tomorrow. So I told him, I say, when you come back, I want to hear the good news that you got the position. So in this case, where we're normally, kind of getting them in and out, I actually slowed down to take my time, which I do that most of the times anyway. But I actually took the time, had a discussion with him in reference to the position, encouraged him in terms of why he's the best candidate for the position, being that he's already internal. It wouldn't cost a lot to to train him. Um, is good for morality within the company. There are a lot of benefits to hiring someone within, especially if they've been with the company for a considerable amount of time. So in that, the patience paid off for him, for both of us today. But I wanted to share that part of it with you. So, sometimes it takes, like when you're retwisting hair, or when you're doing a fade, or you're doing a shape up. It takes patience sometimes. If you're working with a kid, you're working with an adult, or someone that has special needs or something along those lines. Patience really pays off. What if somebody is having a bad day? You know, and I'm gonna tell y'all about that too. So, because I have bad days as well. But nonetheless, the key takeaway here for the first lesson in patient pays off is progress isn't always visible, but it's still happening. Okay. So sometimes, when we want to rush a process, or we think it's not happening soon enough or fast enough, or within our time frame, we got to know that even though it's not visible to the eye, it's still happening. Some things take time. You know, just think about that thing you wanted, had it come as soon as you wanted to, versus the time that it did come. Think about some of the mishaps or the missteps or the challenges you might have encountered getting it in the time that you wanted versus the time that it came. So while you think on that, I'm gonna grab this book so I can share with y'all. Hold on. Let me grab that book. And my prayers that I got it right here. Here it is. got it, y'all. For the first time, I could get my hands on something that I've been looking for. So this book says the Do It Success Series by James R. Sherman, PhD. And it says here, let me take this off the screen. Y'all got, why y'all let me keep this up here all this time? It says here, patience pays off. I'm just going to read the back. It says, should you or shouldn't you? Should you dump those dreams and aspirations that seem so hard to reach, or hang in there for one last shot? Should you lash out at the things that drive you up the wall, or count to 10 and let them pass? This indispensable little book holds the key to some of the hardest decisions you'll ever have to make. Patience Pays Off is packed full of sound advice and useful information that will help you achieve those elusive goals and objectives and keep you calm, cool, and collected under any condition. So I'm just going to flip through this real quick. As y'all can see, I've had it a while. Well, let me see. I've had it a while. It's all highlighted up. Y'all probably can't see it. It's all highlighted up to the point that the highlight is faded. Yeah, it's faded. Okay, so I'm just gonna share this with y'all real quick. Here, let me give you I'm gonna give you some of the table of contents. So round 1 is introduction. Round 2, the causes of impatience. Round 3, how to be patient. And then round 4, your plan of action. So it gives you a lot of different things, like in the beginning: obstacles, frustration, retaliation, confusion, lack of priorities, cold feet, fear, lack of self-confidence, competitiveness, the need for control, the need for rapid closure, the road ahead. That's in the causes of impatience. How to be patient: make a commitment, practice self-control, sharpen your perspective, communicate. Let's see here. I got a comment. I forgot. Okay. WK says that's good advice. Patience is key to success. It really is. Analyze and plan. Develop goals and objectives. Set priorities. Watch out for obstacles. Don't get frustrated. Sometimes I do. Quit competing. Be happy. Listen. Lighten the load. Loosen up. Learn from nature. Learn from others. Persevere. Visualize. Know your soft spots. Know your deadlines. Conquer fear. Reward yourself. Be humble. Practice being patient, and warm up. But what I wanted to, hold on, y'all. I highlighted a lot of stuff in here, but let me go back to the one that talked about obstacles. I'm just gonna review this real quick, and then I'll go into the next few points. It says obstacles. When viewed objectively, most obstacles are nothing more than common roadblocks, but sometimes they seem to be insurmountable. Some obstacles, like social, psychological, or financial restraints, occur naturally. Others seem to pop up out of nowhere. Here is a list of common obstacles that you might have run into from time to time. Feel free to add any others you can think of that aren't listed here. So they go through 4 of them, and I just want to share these with you quickly. Environmental obstacles, blizzards, typhoons, road detours, traffic tie-ups, and people standing in line. These things that happen, some may be often, some may not be often, because of the nature of them. Psychological obstacles: fear, anxiety, anger, frustration. biological obstacles. You probably didn't think about that one. Age, sex, physical or mental handicaps, social obstacles, laws, taboos, social customs, house rules. So those are just some things that I wanted to share in reference to this here. So as y'all can see, I've had it for so long, the thing look a little, it's worn, and it's look, I won't say tarnished, but you can tell it's worn and it's been used. But nonetheless, the first lesson is patient pays off. And once again, the key takeaway here is progress isn't always visible, but it's still happening. Unless you quit, then that's the only way that it's not happening. The second one is energy is everything. I gotta tell y'all about an experience that just happened a couple days ago. And this is about the energy exchange in the chair, behind the chair, whatever you want to call it, dealing with the chair or the service chair, and how clients bring different vibes. I shared with you all that I had a challenging week last week. Well, actually, it's been challenging for quite some time, but last week was very challenging for me. So I was in, and I had this client come in that I was, well, it was customer came in, I was servicing. I was preparing to cut her hair. It was long, well, shoulder length, and she wanted it like right at her ears, just below her ears. And it was very, very curly. So she sat in the chair. We went over the notes. I talked with her about achieving the desired haircut. So naturally, her hair is curly, so you want to cut in its most curliest state to see where the curls are gonna be, you know. So I switched out water bottles because my water bottle that I use is a 360 mist bottle. It doesn't stream like a regular spray bottle. Okay. So I swapped out, got a regular water spray bottle, and I proceeded to section the hair and wet it. Not to the point where it was dripping all over her, but enough to where I could cut it and it was saturated. She said that it wasn't wet. Now, mind y'all, I'm spraying this water out and I am wetting the hair. And you know when the hair is wet because the color, it looks different. Oftentimes it looks darker. So she was like, well, you can take me to the bowl. And I'm like, I got it. I, the hair is wet. I got it. So she just kept on enforcing it. So I said, okay, no problem. I take over to the shampoo bowl, lean her back, make her comfortable, and I proceed to saturate her hair with water. When I finish saturating the hair, I bring her up. I have the towel wrap as to not have it drip all over her. She feels the back of her head and says that the hair is not wet. I said, no problem. She sat. I said to myself, this is going to be a problem. With the week that I was having, I'm like, I'm going to have to pass this customer along. And what I did was passed her on to management. So I excused myself, went over to the manager, and I said, would you be kind enough to take this customer? She said, yes. I swept her area in preparation for the client. And I went back to her and I said, ma'am, my manager will take you. I took the drape off and let her go up. I directed her to the chair in which she was to sit so that she could get her hair cut. So because I knew that she wasn't satisfied, and that there was just the vibes just weren't right. I'm just gonna say that the vibe just weren't right. Wike says, oh wow, sometimes some clients come in with their vibe in negative light and want to cause issues, negative spirit. Yes, I already knew that I was having a not so good week. Though when I come in, I leave everything at the door. But I spotted it and I knew the first warning was at the chair. The second warning was at the shampoo bowl. I immediately said, okay, I'm going to discontinue this service. Let management have it. So as I was sweeping, and I told her, because she was still talking about it. So I told her, I said, you're more than welcome to share your experience with the manager. So today I found out that she thought I was being mean, trying to be, I don't know, nasty or smart or whatnot. I said that because I know my manager knows me. She knows my work ethic. She knows how I am. So whether it was good, bad, or indifference, I wanted her to share it if she was that frustrated about me not saturating her hair. So today when I came in, I thank my manager once again for taking the client. This was before we opened. I thanked her once again for taking the client. Y'all, guess what my manager told me? She said, oh, no problem. She was actually a difficult customer. She just came in. She experienced some challenges with her cutting her hair as well. But she was like, don't worry about it. So I reiterated again. I explained to her what happened at the chair. I said that was the first warning. Then when I got her over to the bowl, she made another complaint. And I said, with, what I've been experiencing and what's, going on, I felt like that was time to discontinue the service. And I wanted to put her with you, senior management, someone in a management position, and let it go. So I told her, I said I wanted her to share her experience because she was still complaining, making a big fuss out of me not saturating her hair. So I just left it at that. And she was like, oh yeah, she thought that you was, being funny. And I was like, no, I really wasn't being funny. I was being serious. You're more than welcome. And how I said it was lighthearted. Didn't think nothing of it, because that's just who I am. I went on about my business. Anywho, energy is everything. So even when I'm going through or not having such a great day, I am mindful how I interact and engage with my clients as well, because I know they don't come in to be bothered with my situation. You know what I'm saying? So as barbers and stylists and most service providers, we have to put how we feel, what we're experiencing, what we're thinking. We got to put it on the back burner and deal with the person who's sitting in your chair, or the individual that you're servicing at that time. I know that. I know how to do it. I've been doing it. I'm accustomed to it. I have my moments here and there. But when I feel like I did in a situation such as what I experienced a few days ago, you know what? I put a stop. I saw the first warning. I it's like, okay, I can still handle this because I know what I'm doing. I honored her request, went over to the bowl. She was still complaining. I was like, you know what? When you got the hose and you're literally saturating a person's hair and they're still saying that this is not wet, I'm like, it's time to let it go. And that's what I did, which brings me into the life connection here. And energy is everything. protecting your peace, knowing when to step back like I did, and refilling your cup. So I refill my cup in that situation by letting it go, not entertaining it, and honoring where I was and what I was going through, as to not get pulled into that situation. And like I said, I didn't know what was going on up there when my manager was cutting her, but I found out that she was a difficult customer for her too. So, but nonetheless, you got to take a step back. And that's what I did. And oftentimes they tell you, you can't pour clean water into a dirty cup. All right. Y'all think about that. Clean water going into a dirty cup, it's going to be dirty, right? So protect your energy like it's part of your brand. And for me, in this industry, we are our brand. So we have to not only protect our energy, we got to protect our peace, because guess what? I had to turn around and cut somebody else. So I can't allow that experience to, in essence, mess me up, throw off my whole day. So when I saw the signs after the second warning, I was like, you know what? And I say the second warning because I accommodated her request. Even though I knew that I was saturating the hair, I still accommodated the request. And when she said that, I was like, you know what? I don't think there's going to be any satisfaction here. Let me discontinue the service and put her with someone else. And in that case, I chose to put her with management and let it be. And come to find out today, it yeah, we're gonna leave that alone and go into the next subject. So, all right, the next point. So let me give you the takeaway for energy is everything. Energy is currency. Spend it wisely. So I chose to spend my energy wisely with that situation, y'all. Okay. And I'm glad that I listened to my spirit and let it go, because like I said, today I found out that it continued, so it wasn't just me. It was something going on with her, and I just didn't want to get involved in it. And as WK so graciously pointed out here, sometimes some clients come in with their vibes in a negative light and want to cause issues, negative spirit. That's what I perceived. I just wasn't going to be, carried into it, get into that current. So the next lesson here, or lesson 3, is make time for good stuff. And I'm going to share with you all something that I did recently, like yesterday. So, in discussing in discussing this, I want to discuss the importance of joy and leisure. I haven't been doing a whole lot of leisure because I've been on the grind myself. But nonetheless, hey, Brandy, thank you for joining. Brandy says, it must be in the air. I just went through something as well. Oh, man, Brandy, can I tell you, that situation, and you and I have been talking, that situation bothered me so that I had to release it. But make time for the good stuff. So in making time for the good stuff, in discussing the importance of joy and leisure time, I want to share some things that I do to recharge, for personal recharging personally. And all honestly, y'all, I'm getting better at it. I still have a difficult time putting myself first, and I'm being honest, being transparent. But yesterday I did a thing. So before I get into that example, I do listen to music. I absolutely love music. I would have it on now, but I don't want to cause any. I do not own the rights to the music playing in the background type of deal. But I absolutely love music. I turn it on when I get up. I'm having it playing when I'm going to bed. If I'm not watching something, I get it turned on the TV, on my Pandora station. I have specific genres of music set aside for me to listen to. Um, I'm working on meditation. My brain just do. My brain is always running, so I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better. Journaling. I shared with you all that I journal for many, many, many years. I'm getting back into it. I had stopped at one point in 2005, so I journaled from 1998 all the way up to around about 2005, and I stopped for a minute, and I would journal here and there, but I'm picking it back up. And y'all remember last on our last episode of the Fade and Flow show, we talked about mental health in the barbershop and how barbers carry more than clippers. That was our second show, Brandy. Second show is on. But Brandy talked about how she journals too. Hers is more electronic. She keep it on her phone. She does that. I like the composition notebook. I thought I had it. It's over on my actually, it's in the living room, but I won't go jump up and get it. Y'all know what a composition book look like. Anywho, I write in those um, to do my journaling, and I'm working on just sitting still and kind of being quiet. And when I do that, oftentimes I hear the clock ticking or the wind chime. I have a wind chime outside, so I try to listen for the things that you tend to not hear, and being quiet. It's almost like seeing what I can hear when it's quiet. But nonetheless, what did I make time for? So I've been in Colombia the 16th of this month, and this October. If y'all watching this, if you're catching this on the replay, the 16th of October made 9 years that I've been in South Carolina. um, I'd always heard about Soda City Market, had never gone, never gone. So, what I made time for, I took a day off and I got up and went to Soda City Market yesterday. But I'm going to tell y'all, it was challenging for me to even do that because I'm still, learning to put myself first and do for me. So it opened from 9 to 1. I said I was going to be there by 9 o'clock. Well, let me rewind. So when I was cutting some of my clients on Friday, they was like, well, the football game is going on. You got the fair going on. It's going to be a lot of traffic. So in all honesty, that was an excuse for me to, you know what? Maybe I won't go down there this time. I'm going to stay home. But you know what, y'all? I got up. I was late. I didn't get there at 9 o'clock, but I got there at 10:03. I got there at 10:03 and I took my time and I sat down because y'all know I got my foot's like my grandma used to say. I have plantar fasciitis too, so I I have to take my breaks. But nonetheless, I made it. I stayed down. I made my way around with stops and things. I spent a total of $41, and guess what, y'all? It was all eaten. I was told that there was this truck that had good peanuts. I love boiled peanuts. So the young lady is a veteran-owned business. I forget the name of it because it was my first time visiting it. But it's in this bold color, black and like a yellowish color. Um, they had regular salt and vinegar, Cajun, honey mustard, uh, Cajun, honey mustard, salt and vinegar, barbecue. They had a couple different flavors. So I end up going with jerk. I really like the jerk ones. So I had my little bag of peanuts and I was walking around eating them and putting the shell in the bag as not to throw them on the ground. So I did that. Then I had an African dish, jollof rice and chicken on a skewer stick. And I got to tell y'all what happened with that. So I'm looking at the menu, right? It says on the menu $12.99, jollof rice and um, uh, chicken skewers. I tell the lady, I look at it, then I walk down a little ways and I come back to pick up my go ahead and pay for the dinner. I hand the lady $15 because it says $12.99. I say, you keep the change. As I'm walking off, she comes to tap me and show me the money. And she was like, you owe me more. I said, no, the sign says $12.99. So I walked over to the sign and I showed her the sign. And she looked at the money, she looked at me, and she looked at the sign. I was like, that's what I asked for. But anywho, I had that and I love mangoes. So I went over to this Mexican truck and got a large drink. It was some type of mango juice. I saw it. I love mangoes. So I was like, I'll take one of them. It was like $6 for that. But nonetheless, I took a Saturday off. I finally made it to Soda City Market, and I didn't arrive on time, but I arrived at 10:03. Okay, so I made it. So I took time for something good and something for me. But I was gonna not go because I was told the traffic is gonna be heavy, which was a lot of traffic. But I think I got in between the morning traffic and right before the game. So I made it work. So anyway, my coaching insight for this here as it relates to making time for good stuff is, remember, you all, rest is a reward. It's maintenance to your mind. Okay, so try to get some rest in, whether it's just lounging or actually sleeping or whatever it is for you. Try to get rest in because it's maintenance for your mind. And I'm talking to me too. Yah-Tay, try to get some more rest in because it's maintenance for your mind too. So the key takeaway that I want you all to take from this particular lesson of make time for the good stuff is schedule joy like you schedule your clients. So I'm working on it. I want y'all to work on it too if you're not doing it. All right. Next point, lesson number 4 is stay sharp, stay teachable. I want to share with you all some things that I am learning professionally in terms of barbering and professionally in terms of business. I guess you can say I'm learning it as much as I am getting some coaching with it because it's a new innovative product. I'm actually waiting on the cards as we speak. But I had a chance to go on with the creator of these cards, their new SSBL card system, the beauty business salon, uh God, I forget what the L stand for. But anywho, so as far as the barbering aspect, um, I'm learning how to do more with my shear work, like your long layers, the different layer cutting, all those different fancy layering. I'm used to using clippers and cutting that way. But when you get to, especially with straight hair, or even relaxed hair, which I really don't deal with relaxed hair as much, but I do cut straight hair. So I'm learning more of long layers in the various, you know, asymmetric bob, stack bob, pixie cutting, and all of those things as it relates to the longer hair. So I'm learning that from the professional standpoint. And as far as the business side of it, I am learning how to use AI and incorporate AI into what I do, and seeing how um, I can maximize the use of AI as a barber stylist. With that, uh, I am in the process of waiting for the BBSL card system that Miss Carla Jones has so graciously created, and it incorporates AI. So it's like training, innovation, and AI integration. So it's a combination of those things. And I was on with her this past Thursday, and we was talking about it. And I'll give y'all an example of what I mean by this new card system. So she asked me to give her a problem, and I told her a challenge that I'm experiencing is remembering to have my clients rebook. I just think about the service, and she just read me in a good way. She was like, yeah, you think about the service, and you're talking to the clients, but you also got to incorporate into that rebooking them. So I told her, yeah, that's my challenge. That's something that I want to work on. So with the card system that she has, which is connected with AI and chat GPT, is like a chat GPT per se. So I gave her the problem. She put it in the system. It told us what card to pull, and what the scenario was based on me as a barber. And it gave me a number of solutions that I could use to start to incorporating or fixing that challenge that I have of rebooking my clients. So when I get the cars, I'll talk more about that down the line as it relates to that. So staying sharp, staying teachable. I'm staying sharp in terms of my skills. I'm staying teachable by getting this additional training to help me with integrating AI, and also getting some training that's also innovational, I guess you could say that, by Miss Carla Jones, because I'm getting the training with her system. So that's one thing. So to connect this uh, to life, being open to feedback, staying humble, and growing through challenges. If we allow the challenges to knock us down, knock us out, we gonna stay in that same situation. So in staying sharp and staying teachable, we got to be open. We should encourage feedback, because that's how you learn. That's how you progress. That's how you move forward. And being humble. Some people look at that positive and negatively. So it's all about how you view that, and then growing through challenges. So the key takeaway that I want you all to get from this particular lesson of stay sharp, stay teachable, is to the sharper your skills, the stronger your spirit. The more you know as it relates to your field of study, your chosen career, the more confident you are in that. So for me, I know that I take, for example, the pixie cutting and the long layers. Some things I can do, other things I can't. When you get into all that fancy stuff, I'm like, that's out of my lane. So what I'm doing is getting the assistance. I've gotten the extra mannequins, so I'm going to work through that. We do have training modules that we can look at. I do observe other stylists, but I'm getting the training to help me better be able to offer those services with confidence. Okay. And as far as the business and me um, moving with the times, I'm looking to learn AI so that I can incorporate it in what I do and work smarter, not harder. Okay. That's what I'm doing as it relates to staying sharp and staying teachable. The last lesson is keep it light, keep it laughing. I told y'all I speak kids. So when I get a kid in my chair, I always keep it light. I always, try to find some way to keep it fun, keep it interesting, keep it motivational. All of those things that make a kid feel important, feel valued, feel heard. So I utilize that um, when I'm working. So to share a funny moment of one of my client stories that made me laugh. Actually, it made me and the client laugh because it was the son. So I do private clients, right? This just happened yesterday, y'all. So I had a client and her son come over, and I hadn't seen the son or cut the son in a long time. So when he came in, he had his hoodie on. This just to set it up, y'all. This just to set it up. So he had his hoodie on, and when he walked through, he pulled it off, and I was like, "Whoa, you got a lot of hair out there." So he told me, he said, "Miss Yah-Tay, I haven't had my hair cut since you cut it last." And I was like, wow. So I felt honored because no one else had cut his hair. He decided to let it grow. And with his mom, I did her retwist her locks. And she normally does them. But this time I did them because she was having problems with her shoulder. They're really long, but it can become very challenging and taxing trying to do them on your own, especially if they're really, really long. She's been regrowing them 5 years now. This is her second set. But how long they are look like she might be 10, 15 years in because they're that long. But anywho, I cut the son. He was all set. He was, just relaxing. But after a while, he kept walking back in the studio like, I'm ready. He ready to go. How much longer we got? So he walk in and I was here. He come back in and I had this part done. So this last time he came in and he saw that I was in this quadrant in the hair, y'all. You know how on them cartoons, okay, have y'all ever seen the comedian Arnez J? And when he walks around with his pants pulled all the way up to his belly, above his belly button, and he kind of kicks his leg out. So when the son came in and saw that to Mom's hair, she only had this quadrant left. He did that same kick. We both just looked at each other and just bust out laughing. I was like, wait a minute, did he just do what I thought he did? And the reason why he did it, because he was happy. He was like, we almost there. But anywho, that had us laughing. And every time he would pop his head in to see where we were, we both looked at each other like, is he gonna do it again? Is he gonna do it again? But nonetheless, those are some fun moments. And then I showed y'all one with one of my kids. I finished cutting his hand. He turned around in the chair like this here. And what he did, he was doing this like he was ready. It was cool. His haircut was good. I tell you, kids keep you young. Um, they keep you laughing, because they do the darndest things, and sometimes they say the darndest things, whether they little ones or big ones. In this case, the son is taller than me now. So let me tell y'all this. So when he first met me, he was like, "Mom, Miss Yah-Tay tall." Now, y'all, he's taller than me. But it's amazing how he thought I was very tall because um, I was like, of course, I'm taller, way taller than his mom, but I was, I just appeared to be really tall to him. But now he's towering over me. Anyway, I wanted to share that with y'all in reference to keeping it light, keep it laughing, and that's a funny moment that I actually just experienced with one of my clients and her son. So, and reflecting on this, humor heals. Humor helps break up the monotony, and it keeps your perspectives balanced. So keep it light, keep it laughing. And my takeaway for you in relations to this lesson number 5 is, if you can still laugh, you're still alive. So though I had a challenging week, I had some highs and I had some lows, and I had a little bit of laughter in there too. So prayerfully, family, this episode has been enlightening. It's been like a breath of fresh air. Um, yeah, I'm hoping that you've been able to glean something out of the Cut Life Chronicles 5 lessons to keep you grounded. And just as a quick repeat, the first lesson was patience pays off, and it really does. The takeaway from that is progress isn't always visible, but it's still happening. And it's still happening if you don't quit. The second point is energy is everything. I shared with you all about that situation where the energy coming in wasn't all that good. I tested it once, and I tested it again, and it just wasn't right. So I had to let it go to keep my peace of mind and to keep my cup full, because I knew that I had already had a challenging week, and I didn't want that to just kind of take me out of character per se. So energy is everything. Energy is currency, so spend it wisely, and don't let anybody else spend your energy. All right, you spend it how you want to spend it. Number 3, make time for the good stuff. I shared with you all that I'm learning to even the more put myself first, do more for me, even though yesterday was challenging, and I was a little delayed. I still got up and I did it, and I'm glad that I did. Took me 9 years to get to Soda City Market, but hey, I finally did it, and I plan on going again. I do have some video footage that I took too, y'all. Um, I'll put something together and show it and show it. So make time for the good stuff. The takeaway from this is schedule joy like you schedule your clients. You want to schedule your time in, schedule you some joy, schedule you some laughter, like you schedule your clients. Lesson number 5, stay sharp, stay teachable. The key takeaway from this is the sharper your skills, the stronger your spirit. In other words, the more you know about your craft, the more confidence you have in your craft and in yourself for that matter. Lesson 5, keep it light, keep it laughing. Takeaway from this is, if you still laugh, you are still alive. All right. So in that, I want you all to remember, as I prepare to close, remember that we shape our fades, or if you defining them curls, let us be sharp. Let our days be sharp too. All right. If you love this lesson, something hit home from you, Slide into the comments. Share with me some takeaways that you have. DM me or tag me in it. And don't forget to follow me on social media at Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist. That's Yahtay, the Barber Stylist. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist. And if you haven't got your copy of my award-winning book, A Heritage of Hair, Living the Legacy of My Heritage, it is available on Amazon. It is a full color, 186 page book. It is available. If you are here locally and you've already purchased it and you want me to sign it, just reach out to me. We'll coordinate something. If you don't have your official seal to put on your book to show that it is an award-winning book, please reach out to me and I will make it happen. All right. You can click the link in the YouTube description, or you can scan the QR code above in the banner on both the YouTube channel and the Facebook channel. If you're on Instagram, the link is in the bio. And y'all, that's all I have. Until next time, stay sharp in your purpose, flow in your peace, and always, 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 always keep your crown aligned. All right? Don't let nobody disturb your peace. Okay? Y'all heard from my challenges, how I overcame them. With me making time for the good stuff. I'm working on it. So these are some things that help keep me grounded, things that I'm also still continuously working towards. But nonetheless, patience pays off. Energy is everything. Make time for the good stuff. Stay sharp, stay teachable, keep it light, keep it laughing. And until next time, enjoy. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. If you have any comments, please put them in the comment section. Don't forget to share this podcast. And if you know somebody that knows somebody that's interested in coming on, share the information with them. Tell them to reach out to Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist and I'll get them on. Oh, that reminds me. So for the month of November, I have put together what is going to be a tribute to military veterans who are barbers. It'll start, we'll have our first guest on the 9th, then the 16th, and the 23rd and the 30th. So I have 4 individuals lined up. Of course, we'll come on the 2nd with the Fade and Flow show. Brandy and I will be on with that show. But November is going to be dedicated to military veterans who are barbers, because it is Veterans Day this next month. And I am dedicating that to military veterans who are barbers. So y'all stay tuned for that. Until next time, that's it. I said I was going to make it short, and look at us. It's okay, but thank y'all for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Enjoy your evening. As I shared before, let me know if there's something that you want me to talk about, go over, bring to the podcast. And don't forget, patience pays off, y'all. I got it here. I think I'm going to revisit this one. But patience pays off, because it has. I've made it to the 40th episode. Thank you to those of you who have been following this journey, who've been catching the podcast. Thank you, WK. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, LaDosha. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Alien. Thank you, Lou. I know some of y'all come on, y'all catch this on the replay. If I missed you, charge it to my mind, not my heart. All right. I'm out. Remember, don't forget to follow and get your copy of this award-winning book, A Heritage of Hair. If you're here in the Columbia area, reach out to me. I'll sign it. get it autographed, get your official seal on it too. All right. Good night. See y'all soon.
I am real roots pride. I am real roots love. I am real roots naturals, naturals. I am real roots pride. I am real roots love. I am real roots naturals, naturals. I am real roots pride. I am real roots love. I am real roots naturals, naturals.